So I am joined today by the lovely Petra van der Waal. And Petra, I'm going to let you tell us a bit about yourself and your business because you're going to do it far better than I will. So yeah, do tell us a bit about what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Jude. And thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here with you today. So my name is Petra van der Waal and I'm Dutch, but I live in France since almost 18 years now. I have two grown-up sons, and it sounds a bit weird to say that because it makes you feel old already, but my youngest just turned 18. So I'm a brand photography teacher and a confidence coach, and the founder and CEO of Instance Academy. And in Instance Academy, I offer several courses and program for business owners who would like to overcome their fear of being visible, imposter syndrome, etc. And I teach them how they can elevate the business with amazing photos that they take with just their phones. Fantastic. So yeah, I would like to add, I've been a pro photographer for over 14 years and a marketing expert for over 12 years. And the combined experience of the two makes that I really capture very quickly what kind of images my clients need so they can truly connect with their dream clients and yeah, attract them into the business. And my secret power is to empower my clients so they overcome their imposter syndrome. I think that's one of the main things that we work on a lot on mindset, and that helps them build the confidence they need to be the face of their business.
Fantastic. And like, obviously we've met on networking and just chatting to you about people needing to have that kind of genuine online presence to connect with their ideal client was one of the reasons I wanted to do this, because I just felt we were so on the same wavelength. That's what we want people to do through their websites. And so, yeah, that's why I asked you to come and chat to us today. So today we are going to be talking about batch planning, sort of your photo shoots for your like your social media photos. So they could be your brand photos, they could be behind the scenes photos. And why do you recommend that people do that?
Well, first of all, it saves you lots and lots of time if you batch plan. And I think whether that is for your website or for your social media, as soon as you batch plan, you just gain so much time. And also your photos become much more professional, because when you're not planning and you're frantically searching for a photo, you will always see that you don't find the photo that you need or the visual that you need. And people end up using either stock photos, which to me really is a pity, because even though stock photos often are looking so professional and pretty and your website looks slick, but actually you lose the possibility to really connect with your dream client. So you're not authentic anymore. And I think that's really a missed chance. So through batch planning, you really think about what you need to connect with your dream clients, and you can get exactly the photos that you need for your business. So that's the main reason why I feel that planning is really necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have been there. I've definitely been there on those days where I'm like, I really should post something. That photo will do. And it's not great. And it's not really the way you want to go. So yeah, I'm completely with you on this. And as you kind of like hinted to with talking about what you do in your business, we're not talking about people having to plan for a big photo shoot with a professional photographer that they've got to budget for and perhaps book in months in advance. We're talking about things that people can do themselves, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. This is something they really can do themselves with just their phones and a tripod, actually, because a tripod really helps to be able to be yourself and find a good pose, etc. But they really can do this themselves. And in my courses, I teach my clients from how to batch plan from A to Z. So there's a whole system that you walk through, and yeah, that's they can execute their photo shoots themselves. They get all the checklists, the templates, plus we do a batch planning session. That one is free in my Facebook group, so anybody can join. And during those batch planning sessions, people work on their own planning. So if you need to have photos for your month's social media content, or whether it's for your website or a behind the scenes shoot you want to do, you go through your own planning, but you go through it with all the lists and the checklists, the templates that we use during that session. And after that, I do done with you photo shoots. And those are really helpful because the theory is nice. It's really cool if you know the theory and how to work through the list. But the thing is that when you start photographing, you will always see that you struggle with the light, or you see a beautiful image. I hear this a lot. People see a beautiful image in front of them and they want to take it. And then when they take the photo, they're like, this is not at all what I think I'm looking at. So during that photo shoot, it's like I'm there with them. I give the immediate support through WhatsApp or Messenger, and they send me their photo and I give my feedback. You should get the lighting this or that way, or you should lower yourself. So they get immediate help. And so that way they know for the next time how to do it better. Yeah.
So I think we feel we should all be able to be photographers, because it's like, just point the camera and press the button, but it's not quite that easy, obviously.
No. Photography is still, if you have a good feeling for composition, you get really far, because nowadays the phone cameras are they are really good. To be honest, I have lots of material. I have very expensive photo equipment from the time when I was working as a pro photographer. And I think it's in my closet for like 3 years now. I haven't taken it out at any moment. I just always use my phones. So they are really, really very good. But still, you need to know how to use the light. And there are so many just little tips that by the way, I give lots of tips in a free 8 settings guide that people can get in the blog post that I wrote. So in there are many little tips, tweaks that you can do in your settings, and immediately your photos will get better already. But yeah, there are still quite some things to know and to learn. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned your blog post, because you have written a fantastic blog post that gives 8 steps for people to follow when batch planning their photo shoots. And we will put the link to the blog post with this video. And from those 8 steps, there are 3 that you said you wanted to talk about in a bit more detail today, 3 that people should focus on. So what are they?
Yeah, well, all 8 steps are really important because it's a sequence that you go through. So you shouldn't miss a step, because otherwise, you just at the end you'll miss something in your photo shoot. So I would definitely advise your clients to have a look at the blog post and just go through the 8 steps. But the 3 key ones, the most important ones, I would say that those are my step 2 of the list, and that is list all the photos that you need up front. Because I notice with a lot of my clients in the beginning, they think, oh, I'm going to go on a beautiful walk, or they need to get some photos done, and they kind of think that the inspiration will come when they are there, but you will just end up with like tens or maybe even hundreds of photos, and the one that you actually need isn't in there. So it's really important to list all the photos that you need. So if you need to build your website, or if you need to have your social media content for the upcoming month, you just sit down. In my batch planning toolkit, I have a Trello template for this. So we use Trello as a basis, but you can do this with any organizational tool, Excel or Notion, Asana, whatever you use. But personally, I use Trello for the batch planning toolkit. And so you just write down every single photo that you need. And then once you've done that, you get to the next step, which is turning those into shoots. So that's the second step that I would like to talk about, which is step 3 in my list. You plan your shoots, so you have that list of photos that you need, maybe 20 photos, let's say there are 20 photos. You then drag them into 2 or 3 different photo shoots. And the advantage of doing that with an organizational tool is that you can just drag from one list to the other one, so you're sure that you have everything. And yeah, for example, I did a batch planning shoot with a biz friend of mine and last summer, and the 3 shoots that we did was one in a cafe where I pretended to be working behind my laptop, so the behind the scenes shoots. We have done one shoot in the streets of the village, where people might see on the blog post or on my website, there's a photo where I'm sticking out my phone, where I show what I do. That's taken in the streets. There's a photo where I'm walking, talking on the phone. That's taken in those streets. So those are actually brand photo shoots that I use a lot on my website and in my social media. And there's a third shoot that we did from that, and that was in a park. So we changed clothing from the business clothing to sportswear, and we just had some regular, more personal posts showing what you do, well, going out on a walk or whatever you do. And so that way you have 3 different shoots. And what is really important about that one is that you think of taking clothes for every shoot. Because if you don't do that, then you will be wearing the same clothes all month on your social media. Or for instance, on your website. It's not good if you have the same clothes on all photos. So you really have to think about taking several clothes with you. And as a third key that I would like to give, and it's not necessarily one of the 8 steps, but it's more of a tip, and that is to try and do your batch shoots with on a regular basis already. So at least once every 3 months, for me, that's the minimum, because that way you can go with the seasons and you build yourself a stock of authentic photos that go with the season. So that's already one thing. And the next is to do it with a biz friend or maybe just a real life friend. But doing it with 2 is really helpful because it helps you to relax. Already practical. I mean, when you are out and you have to put it on a tripod, and you're in a cafe and you put it on a tripod, or you're in the streets on a tripod, you might feel a bit uncomfortable. I don't know, all the young people nowadays, they are all like that in the streets. But I personally, I still find that a bit uncomfortable. And so being 2 really takes that away, because you're with someone else and you can laugh about it. And so the other advantage is that your photos get another energy. There's more of a sparkly energy when you're with someone else doing those photos. And if you don't have a friend that wants to do this with you, what you can do is find, for instance, a local Facebook group of business owners, and just ask the question in there. Maybe can somebody help me doing regular photo shoots when we do it together? You have photos for your business, I have photos for my business, and that way we can help out each other. So I think that is a real good idea to do, to find someone else to do those shoots with you.
Definitely. I've got an idea just popped in my head while you were talking. People should arrange like networking photo shoot walks. Like like a monthly walk or a 3-monthly walk or something. And then everyone can be taking photos of each other, getting to know each other, and everyone's got their photos, their social media for the season.
It's a really, really good idea. Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Yeah, definitely.
You can start it where you are, and I'll start it in Southampton, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing is that you mentioned it is that I'm actually organizing, and I'm trying to see if I can do this maybe in September this year. I want to organize a photo walk in Paris, so that business women, I mainly work with business women, can come to Paris, and we do a walk in there and do a really fantastic brand shoot in Paris. So I think that's something that I'm really, really excited about.
Definitely. Oh, people will get awesome. I mean, yours in Paris is going to go down much better than mine in Southampton. I really feel like your backdrop's going to be slightly more special.
I think the budget isn't the same either. So, and I must say that most of my clients are starting business owners on low budgets. So that's why it's really good that they get the skills to do this all by themselves, because that way they can save thousands of in your case pounds on professional photography. So just even with going with a group to do some brand photo shoots, planning really remains very important. So if you organize something like that, do a batch planning session upfront, so everybody knows exactly what they need.
Absolutely. So yeah, get together with some friends, take your plan with you, and go for it. Fantastic. That is so amazing. And I think it will really make people think. It will make people realize how frequently they should be getting some new photos, because it will really help them with their social media, and they won't be sitting there looking through their phone photo reel going, I've got nothing to post. So that's been so useful. Thank you so much. And obviously I am gonna put the link to the blog post so people can read all 8 steps, and hearing how valuable just these 3 tips have been, they know that the 8 steps are going to be amazing and worth reading. And in there I know they can find out a bit more about you and what you do. But for those who are just wanting to watch this video for these 3 tips, can you tell them where they can find more about what you do and how to get in contact with you?
They can find me on my website, which is instanceacademy.com. Or on Facebook or Instagram with my handle at Instance for Biz with the Z at the end. And I guess we'll put the link to the blog below the video. And I have a little gift for your clients, or maybe not so little, but I'm offering 20% off on the 3 programs that I mentioned in the blog. So that's the batch planning toolkit, in which they just get the templates, etc. The Done With You Star Self Photography Day, so where we go out and do that photo shoot, or where they go out and I help them online. And my 6 months VIP coaching course, in which we work on the 3 pillars of mindset, so to empower them to shine as the face of their business, connection, so you know how to make your visuals truly connect with your dream clients, because that's something that we didn't touch upon now during this talk, but there are so many coaches and Etsy stores and online, and it's really important that you make yourself stand out, but especially that you know how to make your photos truly connect with your clients, because they are not buying your service or your product, they are actually buying the solution to their problem and the feeling that that will bring to them. And you can make your photos connect to that emotion that they want to have. So that is really something really important to work on. And we work on working with ease and flow, so through the systems and tools that we work with. And so the coupon code of 20% off, we will put that with the video as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that for all of our members and our clients. And thank you for coming and chatting to me today, because it has been brilliant. And I want to go and get many more photos done of Chris and me now. I feel like our 20 odd that we've got just isn't enough. And we do only wear 2 outfits in them. So I really think that we need to go and change our clothes and go and do more. But thank you very much. And I know that people will find your blog post so useful. When I read it yesterday, I thought it was amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing people's feedback on that too.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm sure I will see you somewhere very soon. Take care.
Thank you very much, Jude. Bye-bye.